Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for the final demo of GameSpot's Stage 1 live show here at E3 2013, and it's Doki Doki Universe from Human Nature Studios. Joining me is the founder of Human Nature, Greg.
Yes.
Welcome to the stage.
Thank you.
Hold the mic up a little closer.
All right, there we go. Thank
there,
you.
we can hear you now.
All right.
Greg, I gotta say, I didn't know much about Doki Doki Universe coming into this week. I was reading up on it, watching last night, and it just delighted the ever-loving crap out of me. I mean, it's like so charming, so cute. You folks are going to get a look at it very shortly, but what is Doki Doki Universe sort of all about? Because it's not, it's a lot of things, and
Yes.
I'll let you say it because you probably say it a little better than me attempting to.
Yeah, it's tough to describe it in a nutshell, but you kind of put your finger on it at its heart, which is just emotionally expressive, charming, light, uplifting. The goal was to try to make something that would make people smile, feel good, learn about themselves, get connected, all that kind of stuff. It's sort of for that largely underserved audience of gamers, because you don't, like you said, there's not a whole lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, and it's actually interesting. I was watching the trailer last night, and this was the phrase: free-to-play, cross-platform ecosystem, a unique universe of personal discovery. It's all about emotional expression. And taken in another context, that could just sound like the most disingenuous string of buzzwords that you could ever hear at E3, where buzzwords abound.
Yeah.
But it rang true to me, given the context of the trailer. And let's put it in context so folks get a little something to put a handle on. This is your character,
That's
this
right.
robot carrying a briefcase in the center, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Your name is Model QT377665, or QT3 for short.
Okay.
Yeah, do you want to hear his backstory?
I would love to hear his backstory.
All right, great. I'll try to make it short. You can see it in action right there. He's been standing on this asteroid for, I think he says 11,600 days, which is about 32 years. He got left there by his human family. I don't know if you saw that little girl handing him the balloon. But
set him there on the asteroid.
yeah, they
See
said,
you
we'll
later,
be right
QT3."
back. We'll be back. You wait here. And and so he's just a little innocent guy standing there waiting forever until that alien Jeff comes along, and he actually was looking for QT3 because he's a representative of the factory where QT3 was made.
Oh, so he wants to put him back into service and get him back in action?
No.
No,
Nice
he doesn't?
question. No, he actually is looking for him because he's got more bad news to deliver. QT3 and his entire line is going to be reprogrammed, basically scrapped, because they don't have enough humanity. And by the way, that's probably why the human family left you standing here. So that's the
Don't
whole...
have enough humanity. They want a little more humanity out of their robot.
Yeah, that's right. He says, QT3 says, well, I'm not human, and Alien Jeff says, well, you were made for humans.
Uh-huh.
So that's essentially the whole theme of the game, both in terms of the backstory and in terms of the way you play. There's a lot of wide range of emotionally expressive things that you do as a player, but QT3, the character, his goal is to go around to all these different little Little Prince-style themed planets where these characters live and they're going about their lives. It's a very active, living universe, and he interacts with them and gets to know them and tries to get involved with their stories and helps them in one way or another, or torments them, depending on what kind of player you are.
So is this all with the goal of informing his humanity and avoiding getting scrapped?
That's right.
All right,
yeah.
so he's landed here. Alien Jeff is going to give him the spiel on this sort of Egyptian kind of level, our planet
that's
called
right.
Pharaoh.
This is a planet called Pharaoh. There's about 20 different themes of planets and maybe about 30 planets and a few hundred characters. Each planet has maybe half a dozen characters on it. So on this planet, Alien Jeff, he asks QT3 if he knows much about love, and he says, I think it's like constipation, and Jeff says, okay, you got a little bit to learn.
Yeah, you got some ways to go.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're playing, what platform is this being played on currently?
Right now this is on the PS3, but it's also available for PS4 and Vita. And then there's a couple components to the game that we haven't talked about yet. If we have time for, I'm happy to answer questions about it.
We have plenty of time to talk about them. I just want to talk about quick what's going on here before we move on to that other stuff.
Right.
Cleopatra's heart is broken.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, in answer to your question about platforms,
yes.
One of those components is also on mobile platforms. It's on Facebook and iOS and Android as well.
That's sort of a game. There's connectivity to the game from those platforms.
Yeah, right. There's a
version of the
messaging
game.
system that's built into the game, and that extends out beyond the PlayStation platforms onto mobile. So
I'm intrigued by this. But all right, so he's bringing love to Cleopatra, or Cleopatra's brokenhearted, and now he's talking with a ghost pharaoh?
Yeah, right. So in this story, Cleo is brokenhearted because Ramses, her lover, has gone away on a journey and never come back, and she thinks it's because he stopped loving her. And he's actually there all the time. Right there, he says, "Truth is, I sort of died." And
a little embarrassing.
Yeah,
he's
it's a
little
bummer.
abashed.
Yeah. And so your job is to help Cleo be able to see Ramses, so you're kind of helping them out. But there's a variety of intersecting stories that go on a planet, so they've got their story, and then there's Priest Ankh and the camel and the cactus, and they all have their own stories.
Now, you mentioned earlier that this is emotional expression is involved here, and we just got the choice to choose between a few different dialogue options. And I think, that's something that people who play games have seen for many years.
Right.
But what came out of it was not just, furthering the dialogue between him and Ghost Ramses. It popped up and said, "You are money focused."
That's right.
So it's saying, it's like pointing the finger back at you about what your decision is that you've made.
Yes. So good. 2 comments. First, there's a wide range of things you can do that I'd like to tell you about beyond just selecting dialogue. But in answer to that point, we're collecting data about you as you play. You're a real, the real you personality.
I am real. Somebody noticed.
That's right. As opposed to the avatar in the game, of course.
Sure, yeah.
Right. And so we gather that data. You can also, within the game, there's like 50 little asteroids scattered all throughout space. Each one has this little monk character sitting on it, and they'll give you these fun animating personality questions.
Okay.
And there's a therapist who's on your home planet, and when you go there, you get all of the data that we've collected about you gets correlated, and you get this personality evaluation and these fun little graphs and charts, and it tells you all about yourself. And as you play and the therapist gets more data, you'll get little phone calls saying, "Hey, I've got some new information about you. Come back home and check it out." And on your home planet, you can also view the personality evaluations of all your friends. You can go to their home planets too, so there's kind of interconnected to all your friends who are playing the game as well.
Can you then send your friend a message saying, "Hello, I'm a money grubber and greedy, according to my Doki Doki therapists"?
Yes, exactly. You can do that, and that's it's a nice segue. That's the animating messaging system is also in there. Oh, what you're seeing right now, by the way, is the
one of those personality tests.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and there's a ton of that stuff. We put a lot of effort into it, even though it looks very cute and playful.
It does. It looks super cute and playful. I love it.
It is. Oh, playful. How about that? But there's a lot of research that's gone under the hood. It's based on a Japanese methodology called cocology. That's pretty interesting. There's books and books on it. I love that stuff, and it's also on the Myers-Briggs test. So, it does a surprising job of kind of pegging you and who you are. After you finish taking the quiz on each planet, you get to choose an object to decorate and customize your home planet. See, I told you there's a lot. I'm jumping all over the place.
It's good. It's because it seems like all of this stuff, you just sort of flows from one thing to another in the course of the game.
Yeah.
So then, as you're motoring around on your flying pig through space,
or flying poo,
as you do,
or whatever. Yeah, we've got
or flying. There's a bunch of different ways to locomote.
Yeah.
This is it. It seems like you can do these cute personality quizzes. You can go to a planet and try to help some people out, or try to wreak a little havoc if you're feeling feeling a certain way that day. It just seems like it feels soothing almost, as like a relaxing kind of gameplay. And then let's get back actually to the connectivity to the mobile messaging stuff.
All right,
You know,
yeah.
so it's telling me about my personality. Maybe I don't want to like reveal my personality tests to all my Facebook followers or whatever. What other kind of stuff can you send out, and what form does that take?
Oh, you know, the messaging system's pretty sophisticated. You can type anything you want. It doesn't have to be about the game. You can use it just to message if you want to. You do get messages from one of the characters, Alien Jeff, in the game, so it's kind of connected to the game in that way, and it pops up on your screen anytime you're playing. But you can type anything you want, and we have like over 2,000 animating little flash animations and a pretty sophisticated tagging system. So it recognizes whatever you type, and then you can touch any of the words in the message that you've typed, and up will pop, 40 or 50 or 100 different choices that are relevant to that word, and you can populate your message that way. Or you can just hit auto-populate button, and magically it gets populated with images.
Is it populated with images with these kind of animations, like everything within the aesthetic of the game?
It looks exactly like this. And the really neat thing too is that when you receive one of these messages, it's really playful. They animate really big, full screen, and then zoop, they shrink down into the into the message. So it's what you're seeing right now, by the way, on the screen. You're on your home planet, and you're able to select these different steeds as you play and go around the universe. You're collecting a lot of different objects that you can magically summon, but you're also collecting these things, grubs, and their character has just leveled up, and then you get to choose new decorations for your home planet, new steeds, new avatars. There's a variety of robots, kind of all cute, similar-ish robots you can be.
Within the same aesthetic, but you don't have to be this sort of very plain robot for the whole time.
Because it's all about self-expression. So the whole idea is just like be yourself and show yourself, and that kind of thing.
What I think is interesting, given the focus on self-expression, is do you guys have, you're not showing off a lot of, draw your own this, create your own that. The creativity is sort of within the Doki Doki Universe mechanics and within that world. So
that's right.
You can always express yourself via drawing by picking up a pen and paper and going at it, but this is like really a whole new sort of ecosystem for that expression.
Right. Well, at its heart, there's the animated messaging and the personality, the quiz. But the real heart of this game, I think, is the game, and we wanted to make a real great game that was, like a living universe. So it's got this sort of interactive storytelling, branching stories where you've got all these choices, and you can do all these actions with gestures. But there's also a simulation aspect to it, so it's very free-form and open. Anytime you want, you can gesture, you can wave or bow or blow kisses or pick up a character. Some characters like it, some hate it. You can smash them against the ground if you want, or fling them into the air. You can tap on the rear screen or on the PS3 or PS4, shake your controller and cause an earthquake and tilt it, and all the characters fall over and go flying. Or you can conjure up there's over 500 things you can collect and then conjure, anything you can think of, from giant robots to flowers to poo to anything. And then the characters will react to it, and they'll poke it or kick it or tickle it or hug it and get chased by it and comment on it, and all the attribute, all the objects that you can summon have attributes. They're pretty or they're stinky or they're loud, and characters love or hate different attributes, so you learn about their preferences. So all that's just to say, I'm sorry it's kind of rambly, but all that's just to say there's a lot that we've put into the game and the simulation side of it, so that you can sort of play the more structured story part, or you can just play the more open-ended simulation part of it too. I know it looks simple, but it's not.
Well, it certainly seems like there's a lot under the hood here, and I guess I want to wrap it up, sort of, Greg, here by having you talk just sort of what kind of experience are you hoping to create for a player here? You come to E3, you see a lot of different you see people wanting to be scared, wanting to feel excited, wanting to feel powerful, wanting to feel, creatively stimulated, wanting to feel strategically challenged. there's just a whole gamut of emotions that people come to seek from games.
Yeah.
But this game sort of wants you to bring your emotion to it, and of any kind. What are you hoping a player will bring to this and then get out of it?
That's the best question anyone's asked me so far today, I gotta say. I really like that one. It's really, if I had to say it in one sentence, it's about connecting with your own humanity. So we're trying to kind of come at that from a bunch of different angles. There's, expressing yourself in the messages. There's learning about yourself through the personality quizzes and the data we collect by the choices you make in the game. And then there's all of the ways you interact with the characters throughout the game. And there's all these human themes. So not to say that killing somebody isn't a human theme. We've seen that plenty. But, there's the little cactus that wants a hug and nobody will hug her because she's all prickly, or the snowman who's ashamed of being cold and he doesn't want his father's snowman to know about it, or the cave god and it's bummed out because the cave people have stopped worshiping her. All of these kind of human issues that make the characters sort of more complex, and you get to sort of get involved with what it is that makes them tick. And that's what I want people to feel like connected to stuff that hopefully they care about and learn about themselves, thought-provoking.
Very well said. Greg
Thanks.
Johnson, founder of Human Nature Studios. This has been Doki Doki Universe, folks. And Greg, again, this is coming out for Sony platforms, so PlayStation
Yes.
3, PlayStation 4, and PS Vita.
Right.
When is it coming out?
End of this year. We don't have a release date. We're working furiously to come out as soon as we can, but we don't know for sure yet. But by the end of this year.
All right, Greg. Well, good luck on it. Thank you so much for coming by and
Thanks
wrapping
a
the
bunch.
show
Thanks.
up today here at day 2 of GameSpot's live stage show at E3. Folks, we are back at it tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. all the way through the end of the day. Again, we'll be having a huge slate of games. You can check it out on GameSpot.com/E3 if you're curious. I'll be back. I hope you'll join me at E3 2013 as GameSpot's coverage continues.